Welcome back to another episode of Day One Radio right here at Live Hip Hop Daily. I'm Maurice Garnett with my man Branden Peters. What's going on?
Ain't nothing, bro. Welcome back. It's been a minute. The people haven't seen you and heard from you.
Right, man.
I've seen you and heard from you. The people have not seen you and heard from you. Glad, we figured we would hit y'all with a no-guest show this week, chop up all the things we have not been able to chop up over the last, 3 weeks to a month or so. It's been a lot going on, man.
Yeah, man.
It's active.
Every day is something new. Multiple things in one day sometimes.
100%. We ought to start off the show saying congratulations to Kendrick Lamar for becoming the first artist that most of you have ever heard of to win the Pulitzer Prize for music. First and foremost, I was talking to on Facebook to the homie DC out in the Bay from KMEL, and he was like, should I feel bad that I didn't know there was a music prize for the Pulitzer Prize? I don't think most people knew.
No, I mean, that's one of those awards where, most of the people that you know of that when they win it for the literary or,
right.
For the journalism. So, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't feel a certain way if, I never knew that they handed it out for music. Because a lot of times with those kind of awards, they're giving it out to music that is not even very popular. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think this shook up so much. Not just the fact that a hip-hop artist won it,
right.
but a person that is, for the most part, a pop artist at this point won it.
That's debatable.
Kendrick Lamar is a
He's a popular artist. Yeah. That's what it means. So, they've been giving the award since I think 1943. The only other person I've ever heard of that's won it was Wynton Marsalis, who won it in 97. So that's over 20 years ago. And they give the award is for a distinguished musical composition by an American that has had its first performance or recording in the United States during the year. And the winner gets $15,000. So I'm sure there's a few classical musicians that are like, I could use that 15 bands. Kendrick is a millionaire.
Yeah.
This is some bullshit. But I was wondering why this album, though.
Yeah, man, because, for the record, I think you were the person that put me on to Kendrick. I knew of Kendrick when he was K-Dot, but at that time I was mostly paying attention to J-Rock.
Right.
And at the time K-Dot was still sounding like Lil Wayne, but then when he made that turn, you were like, yo, need to go back and check this dude out. So
right.
You're the one that even put me up on him. So there's two people that's been listening to him from day one.
Yeah.
I had questions about this selection too. I'm not sure if it's a thing where its pop status is what made it, eligible for this. Because, for all intents and purposes, hip-hop is considered the most popular music genre in the world right now. So I'm pretty sure that counts for a lot. He's one of the more popular artists, that is American. The only other artist right now that could be more popular is probably Drake, and he's not American. So
that's true.
And so, even as a listener, because for what the reasons that they stated for awarding it, as far as it captured the African American experience.
Yeah, it says a virtuosic song collection unified by its vernacular authenticity and rhythmic dynamism that offers affecting vignettes capturing the complexity of modern African American life. That's a mouthful.
When they say that, I think
that sounds like To Pimp a Butterfly.
Exactly. I think of To Pimp a Butterfly when you're describing it in those grandiose terms. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Yeah. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people liked it, but they were like, okay, this is Kendrick chilling. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of scaled back on the black shit. You know what I'm saying? He's got songs with U2 and Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? He's got Mike Will made it beats. He is doing popular music now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Granted, he definitely had, black experiences in the weaved in the music. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm thinking of something that's supposed to be prestigious in the way they described it, I was like, okay, it sounded like they got the albums mixed up or something. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I had some questions about why this album
votes on the Pulitzer Prize, but it could be a situation where they just really kind of got hip to him.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm assuming that these folks are probably older and whiter than the Grammy people and the Oscar people that we complain about every year. You know what I'm saying?
Probably so. Yeah, but congrats to Kendrick. That's huge, though. Rapper winning a Pulitzer Prize, and I'm wondering, this is going to be very interesting which we'll get into in a minute. J. Cole announced that he's coming out with an album Friday. I'm really curious to see who's going to have the number one album. Will it be Kendrick or will it be J. Cole?
Do you think people are going to go out and rediscover after this?
Hell yeah. When the last time you've seen this much press around anybody winning a Pulitzer Prize?
I can't. I mean, I see it, but like I said, like I'm not. It doesn't like enter
the
like my
volume. Like,
the volume.
Everybody has run a story. It's all over social media. Like, this is a kind of a big deal. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Most times when somebody wins a Pulitzer, like, you kind of hear about it after the fact. Like, you see it, rather.
It's in their name. Like, it's Pulitzer Prize winning author.
When you see the sticker on the book the next time you go to the bookstore, like, this just won something. You know what
exactly. So I'm curious to see who's going to do that. So speaking of Cole, because these guys are forever.
I didn't want to go on to Cole quite yet.
Okay.
So what do you think this means for the culture that albums are winning Pulitzer Prizes? Like,
I think this is going to be an anomaly. I don't see a string of rappers winning Pulitzer Prizes from this point. First and foremost, like Cole, Nas, maybe Jay if he continues on this lane. Since he's black but really white, Logic, I could see any of that going along those lines. You know, I could definitely see one of those guys maybe winning like 5 years from now or something like that. I don't see this shit going like back to back to back.
Now, do you think it will start mattering? Do you think, like, if lo and behold,
like, people are gonna start bragging in their raps
not
about
even
a
that. Like, you know, a lot of like, say if everybody's favorite white whipping boy in hip hop, Macklemore, comes out with an album and they're like, "You get a Pulitzer." Do you think niggas are gonna be like, "Man, this some BS, bro. Like, how they just gonna give him the Pulitzer?" Do you think cats are gonna start caring to that degree?
Not at all. Because I think people, I mean, I don't want to sound ignorant, but I think people already consider it some white shit anyway. Even though it's not necessarily that. There could be several black folks in this classical thing. I would have to Google all of them. I don't know who Caroline Shaw is. I don't know who Kevin Putz is. I'm assuming Zhao Long is not a black man or a black woman.
They might have some like Cassandra Wilson and Bobby McFerrin.
Exactly.
Like we know, but it's like, oh man.
I wouldn't know. I would have to look it up, bruh. I would definitely have to look it up. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be like, I think it's an anomaly. I think this is super big. I know Kendrick doesn't like post on social, but I think it would be dope as fuck if he took like an IG post with the award. Like, that's some super stunt shit. And it goes back to a recurring conversation we have about validation. Like, why is a Pulitzer better than, you know, some other award that's given by your own people? Why is a Grammy
why is it better than a Soul Train award,
a Soul Train award or BET or when Vibe did awards? But you know, that's a whole nother conversation within itself. But I mean, I think it's super dope. Even if this isn't the body of work that we all would have gave it to, but it goes back to, again, should have won this. Probably, like, he's gonna win an Album of the Year award at the Grammys at some point since he's been snubbed before. You know. Like, they gave him all them rap awards because he didn't win New Artist of the Year, and he should have. So it continues over. That's normally how this stuff goes.
Cool. Now, with Cole, what were you about to say about Mr. Jermaine Young Simba Cole?
Do you care?
I care. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't necessarily like wave J. Cole flags every day, you know what I'm saying? But I do care about a J. Cole album because the last one, there were moments on there that, you know, for the space that I'm in life, I'm like, okay, I can relate to some of this. You know what I'm saying? Same way that some cats could relate to what Jay-Z was rapping about on 444. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested in hearing what essentially like a real grown-ass man that is still good at rapping has to offer. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we're fortunate to be in a time where we have more grown-ass men that are good at rapping still making good rap music. You know what I'm saying? Because we were plagued with a time where it's like, bruh, you're 40 and you're still fucking on bitches and popping bottles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're still doing that in your songs? You know what I'm saying? Like, or you had some artists where it's like, we see the life you live. We are watching your reality television show when you're raising your kids. And you're still trapping. That's what we're still on.
Leave T.I.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that, you know, I do care that a J. Cole album is coming out. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to see, you know, what he has to say, like in this kind of climate.
Is it? I want it to be more Forest Hill Drives than it is For Your Eyes Only. I didn't like For Your Eyes Only. It didn't do anything for me. I love the I think the neighbors think I'm selling dope song. That was hard.
But I would like, even though I care, I would like to see dude, musically at least, like open up his avenues a little more. Like, granted, like I said, I liked elements of For Your Eyes Only, but I would like to hear what it sounds like to hear, Cole rap over other people's beats. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's going that same route, he's teetering along that Eminem line where it's like you lose interest in the album because it's like, man, I know exactly what it's gonna sound like. It's gonna sound very similar to the last one.
At the very least, get your Dr. Dre on and have some new blood in there, and then you spruce up the beats or make them sound like what you want to rap over. Mm-hmm. Like with Timbaland and Danger. Like every producer's done it for the most part. I think Premier might be the only producer we don't know of that's on that level that's done it, and shit, even he did it. That's what Prime is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and that revitalized his career. Mm-hmm. Bruh, I don't want it. J. Cole's beats are lightweight boring to me. Like, I really feel like he is very insulated when he records. I don't know that to be a fact. It just seems like that. Because the albums come out of nowhere. Like, he literally announced did a show yesterday, which is the 16th Monday. I don't know when y'all are listening to this, and said he was dropping an album Friday. And people have heard, but the people that have heard it, I haven't heard no glaring reviews. I've just heard, I heard the new J. Cole album and you haven't.
Well, it seems like this is the way he likes to move and release his music, because I think he's done that for like the last couple releases, just kind of out of nowhere, no real promo, very brief press run and some other product to go along with it. Like for Forest Hill Drive, I think that's when he was like giving people homes and doing all these other things. In the last album, he had the HBO documentary. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I like Cole, like as a human. Like, I think what he talks about is great. It's just a lot of the music doesn't move. Forest Hills Drive is actually the only project that I've liked from him. Like, where I can say I like the whole joint.
Yeah.
I remember when not when I first heard about him, but like when he first started buzzing. I was in Miami and I was like, man, let me listen to the what was it, that Friday Night Lights? Was that the name of the project?
No, he had another one before that. Friday Night Lights was the one where he was like sitting in the locker room. He was kind of that was the album. That was the album. That was his first project. That was his first.
What was the one with
the warm up? The warm up. He had a mixtape called The Warm Up.
And I listened and I was like, it's okay. Like, it just, I don't know. But I respect that people love him. I'm just happy we have somebody of substance that isn't doing all kind of wild shit that can still garner a bunch of attention. Mm-hmm. It's ironic that he's always been closely aligned with Jay, because he's so much more like Nas than he is like Jay.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't even know that he's that closely aligned with Jay for a minute. They were like, man, Jay ain't even claiming this dude. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he don't have to. Like, he put him in position to an extent, and he,
doing his thing.
He's been rolling ever since. Another guy that's very outspoken about how he feels is Colin Kaepernick. And the other day we saw that the Seattle Seahawks were supposed to bring him in for a workout. And then I guess he did not say yay or nay on whether he would kneel, and they canceled the workout. And then we saw sometime over the last day or so Adidas saying that they would sign him if he was signed to it, or once he signs to an NFL team. And I'm just like, really? Like, Kanye don't play professionally. Pusha T don't play professionally.
But they're not athletes at all.
Yeah,
it's
but
I think if I'm a sneaker company and I'm, acting like I want to do business with an athlete, I need the athlete to be doing athletic things.
At this point, is Colin Kaepernick more of an activist or an athlete?
I mean, right now people know him as a former athlete who was an activist. And he's a former athlete because he is an activist. Like, he's been an athlete longer than he's been an activist.
If Adidas dropped Colin Kaepernick merch that was fire, they'd probably sell more of it with what he's doing now than they would if he was a backup quarterback for somebody's team.
in America. Not all over the place, though. Because what he's protesting, granted, he's protesting oppression, but this, for the most part, has been like a American story. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if the Adidas buyer in Belgium,
and
France,
they're not really worried about it. You got to remember the not to cut you off, but you got to remember that the bottom line for most athletic companies is the $45 shoe that's sold in Kohl's. Like, it ain't the stuff that they do commercials for and all of that. So that don't even really matter. Like, they just got to make their money back where he's popping. And I think, especially in this climate, it would go crazy because it would be like, oh, y'all, and they're a German company, so they ain't even got to worry about the politics and bullshit of, the America, right wing, left wing stuff. They ain't got nothing to do with that. They're a German company. So I don't understand. I don't get why they would even put that out there.
I mean, like, just need to troll and catch some buzz off of it, you know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
And appear to be down to a degree, like, yo, man, y'all are keeping this man from earning a living. We got something over here for him. If one of y'all dare take a risk to, put your neck out there the same way that he did. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where, like, they just injecting themselves in the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that he will get signed to any team? I personally do not.
To any NFL team, no. Until he decides to not kneel, I don't think any NFL team is going to give him a chance. I think the Seattle Seahawks was the closest thing, given like how
Pete Carroll,
and that just their reputation as an organization, allowing their athletes to be outspoken.
Right.
I mean, this is the team that had Richard Sherman and Michael Bennett. You know what I'm saying?
Neither one of those guys are there anymore.
But they were speaking out while they were there, though. You know what I'm saying? They would be speaking out at the press conferences, talking shit after the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they're not there anymore because of just, contracts and age. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure that some of the other things have something to do with them not being there as well.
I don't know, man. I think, not as much as one would think.
No, I agree.
Because Sherman getting older, tore something up in his leg, coming off an injury. So it's that was an uphill battle for him. You know what I'm saying? Bennett also aging. That whole Legion of Boom thing is aging. You know what I'm saying? So they had to make moves. They weren't really trying to just we're gonna keep you around for legacy reasons. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know if there's an NFL team that's gonna legitimately put their neck out there to give this dude a shot. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna see,
which is very unfortunate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm done, bro. I was done last year, but I'm good, man. I can't continue. I feel like it would, for some people, and I really don't understand how black people continue to spend their money with entities that have shown that they have no respect for your people. But for my thing is, what more is it going to take? We've literally seen players get caught up in domestic abuse, murder, drunk driving, the whole nine, to get their jobs back, or in some cases keep their jobs.
Let me ask you this, and let me know if you have any information on it. So you look at the NFL as a league, and then you look at the 30-some-odd teams that make up that league. Mm-hmm. Is Kaepernick not being in the NFL more so an indictment on these separate teams or the league office itself?
Oh, I 100% think it's the teams.
Okay.
Which is why there's a collusion lawsuit. Mm-hmm. They have owners meetings for a reason. Billionaires tend to hang with billionaires. Mm-hmm. If it was a dude that was working at UPS that owned the team, he might sign Kaepernick. You know what I mean? But these guys,
so
they know who their constituency is.
So with the boycott, I'm just asking questions. People were asking me if I was boycotting. I was like, I guess technically, because I haven't really been watching football like that for the last few years. Yeah. I mean, but so if it's a thing where it's the teams are the ones complicit and not the actual league office, do you think folks should still be boycotting? Say if your team just does not need a damn quarterback, should I feel bad if I want to go to a Tennessee Titans game or a Pittsburgh Steelers game? Hell, our quarterback is straight. We got our quarterback situation good. We don't need one. Should I be made to feel bad that I still want to go support my team who has a solid quarterback situation.
I feel like it's everybody's personal decision, but at the same time, like sometimes you gotta take a stand for something. And as long as you got Mark Sanchez in the league, when you got 13 teams showing up to Johnny Manziel's workout,
man, like he a rookie all over again.
It's like, come on.
Or Jay Cutler getting the job.
Jay Cutler is in the league making millions. I mean, the writing is on the wall to me.
And Matt Stafford being the
fam,
top 5 paid.
Come on, man.
Jimmy Garoppolo won 6 games. I mean, so I get it. It was very unfair. I was just wondering how people felt about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your team already has a quarterback, should you be made to feel bad? Because, like, nah, I'm still going to my game. Like, we didn't need Kaepernick, so, you know what I'm saying? Why should I boycott?
Right, and I'm like, is that a reason or an excuse? Like, it's kind of scary to me if you're more loyal to your NFL team than you are to your people. But, you know, my thing is, it's the older I get, the more I try to critically analyze things instead of just jumping out the window. Right. So, you know, we had the whole Starbucks thing, which is kind of in line with the same thing. It's you know, negative things happening, and what is your response? So, of course, you had, you know, the Kevin Harts come out and say that this wasn't a Starbucks corporate issue. This was a bad employee. And, you know, that's cool. And people I know personally, I've had several conversations over the last few days, and I feel like these are the same people that still shop at H&M. You know, these are the same people that
are we still at H&M? H&M be looking like that now, wasteland now.
I
think we successfully left them alone.
I'm not gonna name this person, but I had somebody tell me personally that I know personally that they still shop at H&M, and it's amazing to me that, you know, we have these shit happens and we just give passes as a people. And I know everybody has to make their own decision. I'm not gonna never count nobody money, and I ain't telling you how to spend your money. However, anytime that you have a situation where you have black men or women in a business that people go and sit in every day and don't spend a motherfucking dime, being arrested for trespassing. Mm-hmm. And this ain't an isolated incident at Starbucks. There are videos, there are stories of folks not being allowed to use the bathroom because they're not customers, and they turn around and let white folks do it. Like, and I understand that this can be an isolated incident in one city, isolated incident in another city, but there is a such thing as corporate culture. And I personally feel like if this was not the corporate culture, they wouldn't be shutting down restaurants to have racial bias training. They'd be like, this is not what we stand for. This person is fired. This is completely and totally unacceptable. And that would be that. But if you like, clearly they know something that we don't know. If your CEO is making video apologies, or the CEO, yeah, because the COO is a black woman, it's AKA. If your CEO is making apologies and really copping pleas, and then after some more backlash, the person, Holly Hilton, that's her name, since they don't want to put the name out there in none of these stories, the woman's name who called the police on the two brothers in Philadelphia is Holly Hilton. If you know Holly, tell her she ain't shit. Anyway, back to the story. I don't understand why you would be doing all this if this is not if you weren't worried about something. If this is not how it normally goes down, like you remember when Best Buy in Texas after the hurricane, and somebody took a photo of some case of smart water that was selling for $45. Do you remember that?
No, damn.
But that's how much smart water costs.
Yeah.
And they was like, look, this is how much shit costs. This is how much it cost yesterday. This is how much it's going to cost tomorrow. It may be distasteful to have it still at this price considering what's going on, but we're also the company that flew all of our employees that live in Puerto Rico to Florida during the storm, paid them for 30 days, made sure they were straight. So, like, don't put us on no bullshit. And that's paraphrasing, of course. But I'm like, if you know that your company don't get down like that and there are not incidents in the past that are like this, if this is the only time this has ever happened, I truly doubt that this would be the response. I could be wrong. I don't have an MBA, but I have critical thinking and common sense, and I consider myself to be a fairly intelligent person. So I don't think that they'd be closing down 8,000 stores to do training. That's a lot of fucking money that they're losing.
So you think they kind of like re-brainwashing the employees? Like, look, man, forget everything that we told you in the employee handbook before. We have to act like this now.
I mean, it's possible. It is fully possible. I'm just tripping on the fact that there are still people, whether you black, white, whatever, people that view this as being wrong but still feel like I'm still going to patronize this business because it's convenient.
I mean, it's the same reason people still listen to R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing what people love you for. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna find a reason.
That's sad, man.
You know what I'm saying?
What about if we like the old shit? We not fucking with nothing new that he does.
We are not. We've had this conversation.
I posed this question at Hip Hop Trivia one day. Like, granted, like I was never super into R. Kelly even when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? But do people get a pass if they're like, look, man, I listened from R. Kelly in public service announcement up to the R album, like, you know what I'm saying, the red one, Black Panties, and the other one. I don't mess with that R. Kelly.
I was in, bro.
like, do people get a pass if they roll like that?
I was in high school when R. Kelly married Aaliyah. And I'm 41 years old. So it's been documented that R. Kelly was a creep for over 20 years. So that should answer your question.
Yeah. You remember that? Not to get too off. Do y'all remember that old Video Soul interview when they had Aaliyah and R. Kelly on there? Bro, it's on YouTube. It is creepy as hell to look at after all these years. Like, at the time, you're watching Video Soul. You're like, oh wow, R. Kelly and Aaliyah are on Video Soul doing an interview. Now you look at it, you're like, okay, young girl, grown ass man, dressed alike. Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They get pressed about their working relationship and they gave these answers like, oh yeah, we real close. We do everything together. We're real close. It's just creepy as hell to look at, considering, you know, the information that is out there now.
I'm not saying that this is the answer, but I cannot believe with all of these allegations that somebody, daddy or brother, has not knocked this fool down. Like, I cannot believe.
See, so that's why sometimes you think that it's like it could be a conspiracy, because why would it
be a conspiracy? R. Kelly is not important to anything.
But no, like same reason why you're like, how is Zimmerman walking around? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right. But Zimmerman is protected. For sure. Zimmerman is protected. Dude, had any of this type of stuff happened to any young lady in my family, wouldn't nobody be going to an R. Kelly tour. Unless he was coming out like Teddy Pendergrass in a wheelchair. Oh, man. Straight up. Okay, anyway. Moving along. Back to the Starbucks thing. Bro, like, my whole thing is, and granted, I can't tell people how to spend their money. I just do not understand why we keep giving it's a police situation. It was a bad employee. Dude, that is the 14th Amendment. That is civil rights. How you can't walk into a Starbucks and sit down and wait for somebody without getting arrested?
Without getting arrested, yeah. Like, you know, getting approached or, you know, told, hey, man, what's up? One thing, like, arrested. It's like, yeah, some white folk just call the police way too much.
If it was black folks who had taken the video, would this be a story?
It would be a trending topic on Instagram. It would be
right. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
It would be trending like a mug on Instagram. Everybody would be reposting that video. But, you know, would it be a news story? Probably not.
That's all I'm saying, man. Do what you want to do, but just know if you still spending your money at Starbucks until this gets resolved, something got to be done. Right. Like them dudes, them guys that got arrested. The CEO wants to meet with them. Yada yada yada. I appreciate the proactiveness, but to this point, other than firing the manager, you haven't really done nothing. Yeah. Like I want to see what's really going on, and what, because they gonna spend some money.
Right.
It's gonna be a settlement for sure. And the police shouldn't have arrested them. As you have to have some kind of sense to know when somebody is really trespassing or not. Yeah. Like, that's just absolutely... And this is Philadelphia. This shit didn't happen in Iowa. There's millions of black folks in and out of Philadelphia every day.
Right.
Like, come on. If not millions, hundreds of thousands. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah, the other things that are going on. Did you watch the Beyonce Coachella performance?
No, but... I know that there's been a big deal being made over her support of HBCUs.
True.
In her performance. Did I watch it? No, I did not.
The merch was fire. I ain't even gonna lie. Whoever designed that merch is super dope, because there's all kind of like Horus, the sun god. There's all kind of stuff within the jacket and the crop top hoodie she had on and everything. I tried to watch it. Every link that somebody sent me, the shit got taken down like almost immediately. So I've been trying to watch it.
They don't stream it live?
I was not up at 2 o'clock in the morning watching Beyonce. I'm a heterosexual man. That is not married. Like, if I was married, I'd probably have to sit down and watch it. But I was trying to watch it. I've heard so many great things about it. I think people need to relax with the "she's the greatest performer of all time" shit. Like, they got to relax with that.
Why?
Why do they have to relax?
Yeah,
because there's this guy.
Don't say Michael.
From Gary.
No.
Are y'all out of your fucking minds?
Nah, you bugging.
How in the world? Explain to me how you believe that Beyonce Knowles is a better performer than Michael Jackson. Please explain this shit to me.
All right, I'm going to go with how and Michael, all he really did was the moonwalk. After that, it's like, that shit she did was dope, yo. I don't see, like, Michael, it was good, but it's like it don't go with the times of right now.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Nah, I'm serious.
I mean,
how would anything that I feel like you trolling. Before I get upset, I feel like you trolling, so I'm not going to trip. At the end of the day, Michael Jackson is the only artist I've ever heard of that walked on stage, didn't say a motherfucking word, and people fainted.
Well, I mean, I've seen that at Erykah Badu concert.
No, you have not.
No, I have.
No, you have not. I'm not talking about this. I ain't talking about
people behave like that at Erykah Badu concert.
No, I'm talking about whole. Y'all are out of your fucking mind. Dog, Beyonce comes out on stage, and the theatrics are amazing. She's an amazing dancer. She can sing pretty good. She puts a lot into the performances. Can't take nothing away from her. Absolutely amazing. Mike was on stage by himself with a band and backup singers and shut shit down. Night in and night out. You're not on the mic, man.
Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing? This is Mecca. What's up, everybody? I was about to say, I'm just chiming in real quick. I don't want to be off screen yelling, but I do feel this. People are kind of caught in the moment as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like how we would do with Jordan and LeBron a little bit. Like, I grew up watching Jordan. I grew up watching Michael Jackson. I see why they was dope. I'm blessed right now to be able to see Beyonce and LeBron James, though, and I'm like,
And there is no comparison on either.
Better than what I just saw. Now, with Michael Jackson was lit, but I can tell you right now, Beyonce's shit that she's doing from now until whenever she's done performing, she's gonna keep adding. Like
but we don't know if that is the case.
I don't know.
Everyone is falling off.
If she just left it at what she left it at last Saturday, then she might be like, if we having a real argument between her and Michael Jackson about
there is no argument.
Since we're bringing up futures and falling offs, like let's look at it. You know, it's like Mike as a solo artist.
Yeah.
His run would you say 81 to 91 as a person that's like, yo, this is the greatest right now. Like from off the wall, I'm giving them off the wall.
Yeah, at one point,
like
Michael
Thriller
Jackson
guaranteed.
At one point, Michael Jackson
Nigga,
shut down
it
Fox.
is no at one
Like at one
point.
point, they would debut his videos on Fox, like between 8 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson was that dude. Like there was no conversation.
There is was that dude.
No, we're saying if you look at Mike, 81.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give him up into Dangerous, because by the time History and all that stuff came out, it was
joints on History.
It was the Yawn Fest. Right?
It was like all right, Mike's still here. To be fair to Beyonce, Beyonce from 2003 when Dangerously in Love came out to right now. I mean that's a run that deserves to be in the same conversation.
Definitely deserves to be in a conversation.
It's not the best.
I mean, there are guys right now that average 1 point a game in the NBA. They are in the same league as LeBron James. I'm not saying Beyonce is that person. I'm saying the conversation is broad. We have several great performers, but bro, Michael Jackson. You want to take Black Michael with Off the Wall better than anything Beyonce has ever put out.
You talking about music-wise?
Music-wise, performance-wise.
Off the Wall, yeah, you got that.
Michael Jackson with Thriller, biggest album of all time.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
There is no comparison. Michael Jackson Michael Jackson is probably the most famous person on earth until he died.
He was at one point, and like you say, it started. You saw the music drop when he was just. It was like literally they gave you a check and you had to do it. You know what I'm saying? There was no importance of him putting out any music. He was just throwing stuff out there for a little while,
like blood on the dance floor,
right?
And,
he was doing stuff
because
doing
dude,
stuff,
Beyonce has had the benefit of building a career
like LeBron. Michael Jackson became Jordan. He just started doing stuff. after
but the thing is, when
and then think about what you just
and
said.
that's all. But the thing is, my point is, Beyonce built stuff, has released great bodies of work upon great bodies of work, and she also has the advantage of she's alone. Like there's nobody on her level right now. Mike was fighting against Prince.
I was about to say, now personally, Prince is the better performer. I love Prince. I love seeing Prince perform. Now, he did have Prince challenging him. I would have loved to see a Prince fan debate this for real.
Like Prince was playing instruments and the whole nine. Like,
so was Chucky Booker.
Bro,
I saw Chucky Booker open for Janet Jackson and play every instrument on the stage.
Prince would do that and be half naked. Like, it's just a different level, though.
That doesn't appeal to me.
But, I got fade out here. Shout out to LeBron James, greatest of all time.
Man, we gonna edit that shit out.
Factual.
That was a troll. Exactly. LeBron James is not better than Kobe. Like, stop.
No.
He's not.
Yes.
Anyway.
He's way better than Kobe.
No, LeBron James is not better than Kobe. Okay. At the end of the day, the whole Beyonce thing, I thought it was amazing. And I feel like her and Kanye put together the best show. It's like going to see a play. Mm-hmm. Like they put together full theatric performances, and you gotta love that. I think we need to stop trying to compare everything. Why can't she just be Beyonce? Why we gotta compare to Mike? Why we gotta compare LeBron to Jordan? Why we gotta do comparisons with everything? Just let people be great.
I mean, with some stuff, comparisons are warranted. Because it's like if we're expected to always believe that one person or one thing is supposed to be the greatest of all time, I think it is healthy for people to challenge that from time to time. It's like, how long do we have to sit here and just say this is the greatest because it's been said that way for so long? Like, is there never going to be a time where this can be eclipsed? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure folks were like, Kareem is the greatest of all time. Kareem. And then you started having folks like Jordan come out like, okay, all right, Jordan. So, like, how can we not act like we can't say, okay, Kobe, LeBron, you know what I'm saying? So same thing with music. So it's like, I'm pretty sure at one time somebody in some ballroom was like, Jackie Wilson is the greatest of all time. Jackie Wilson. Then it turned into James Brown. Then it turned into Michael Jackson. So like, why can't it turn into Beyonce? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it happens.
It has to be discussed by people who know what they're talking about. Because there are also people that will tell you that the Migos are a better group than Run DMC.
Well, we can't count them, even though, like, you know, somebody can make that argument if you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, how the numbers in the games have changed, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, sales can't even come.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's completely different now.
You know, but I mean, like, I don't think that's a bad comparison.
I think it's things that we need to chill on the comparisons. I think a great example of that is this whole thing right now with Cardi and Nicki Minaj. And I'm like, is this like black comedians, like where you can only have one at a time? Like,
yes. Can
we only have one great female rapper at a time?
That's how people are behaving, yes.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. But like, that's just how people choose to behave. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like that for a while because, you know, when you think of times outside of late 80s, early 90s where you had, you know, Salt and Pepper and MC Light, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. It's like, for the most part, it was people got accustomed to there only being one at a time, one great at a time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when they come to a point where it's like, oh, wow, there's more than one, you know what I'm saying? People just naturally always want to put them against each other because they're programmed to think, oh, I can only like one at a time. It's very unfortunate that people would think that way because, like, to see, you know what I'm saying, people put them against each other. It seems like they're almost falling into that trap now. I'm seeing, you know, all these back and forths with interviews and shots being taken and rumors coming out about songs, who did what, and you know what I'm saying? So
that's what I was gonna say. Is it a people thing or is it a marketing thing from labels?
I wouldn't give the labels credit for that. I mean, you know,
you don't think there are people that are really sitting there like, okay, we need to drop this thing, we're gonna leak this story, we're gonna do this. You don't think that's the case?
No, I think this artist on their level, especially somebody like Nicki, I think that they have the decision-making power to do that themselves. I don't know if somebody was like a bird in her ear, like, drop these 2 singles right now. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of that may have had to do with her, like, oh shit, my throne is being challenged. Let me get out here and do this right quick. You know what I'm saying?
I did hear, and I don't know if she said it, because this is so much information, that the label wanted her to drop those songs like the day before or the day of Cardi's album dropping. And she fought to push it until later. Now, I don't know if she said it, but I definitely heard that from a reputable source. So, who knows, man? I think the shit is corny.
No, it is.
Like, personally, I think her interview talking about, you know, why she was upset about this song, what Migos was saying, what Cardi, I think that all that shit is corny. Like, if you ain't gonna say nobody's name, then don't be talking about it in an interview.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we should always have more than one woman voice at the same time. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have multiple voices because, I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, the game has been so, you know, male heavy for so long that it's like, you know, like, cats don't even know how to listen to women when they do talk anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everything just sounds like, wah, 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 wah. It's like, no, the girl actually saying something, you know what I'm saying, that you should probably hear. You know what I'm saying? You should hear the other side of the story. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so we need multiple, you know, women shining at equal, you know what I'm saying, levels at the same time. I think more people would win that way. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. Speaking of winning, right now, your boy Drake killing the game right now.
No, he is. Like, he does it every time he comes out. You know what I'm saying? He has like a solid foundation.
This is a little different.
You think so?
Number one song 9 weeks straight and then supplanted by your own song as the next
number one
song?
Now, when we talk about number one song, especially in the case of this guy, yeah, it's like, you know, I I don't absolutely trust those numbers. Are the numbers real? Yeah, but that scale has been tipped in his favor.
I mean, there's
for, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
there's definitely a kid in Vietnam right now clicking God's plan over and over and over again in order to run it up. I get that, but that's being done for every label, every major label that an artist has a push behind, for sure. My thing is this, though. That's one thing for Billboard, but the dude jump like 2,000 spins on the Nice for What song in a week. That's insane. 2,000 spins out of nowhere on a song. Like, it's a band. And the funny thing is, it's so paint by numbers. It's take a bounce beat, take a bunch of Instagram memes, put them in the lyrics, and that's that. Yeah. But and I'm not even a Drake fan, but he's doing ridiculous things right now.
Yeah, they definitely have a master key over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think it's possible for Buddy to drop a dud. Like, he's really at that point where like he might can probably just get on a beat and burp on it.
Yeah.
And folks would be like, "Oh man, did you hear that burp, bruh?"
The one thing, I don't know if you said it, but somebody said Drake, he don't make timeless music. Like, his music,
you don't hear old Drake songs.
Like, the best I ever had, you can't play that right now.
One of us that said that, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you don't, every time he comes out with a new one, like, the old one is never brought back up in the conversation. Like the same way we just sit here talking about, oh, I like that last Cole more than this new Cole. I like that last Kendrick more than that new Kendrick. You don't really hear conversations like,
they don't.
I think I like that. It'll never be the same more than Views. I think I like that Take Care more than It'll Never Be the Same. I think I like that. Thank Me Later. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't you don't hear even a DJ drop like, man, I'm about to drop this fancy on y'all ass. I'm about to drop this best I ever had. You know what I'm saying? His songs don't really like live. You know what I'm saying?
I know neither one of us listen to terrestrial radio that much, and we're not like out in the bottle popping stand on couches clubs much. But I'm out enough to know that I don't hear old Drake songs hardly ever. Which, I mean, but if you're constantly dropping new hot shit, then you know what I mean? Like, you can't even really be mad at that. I'm wondering, do you feel like he's marked his territory as like if he stops dropping music today, you could say Drake, at least for this generation, is like top 5, top 10, whatever?
It would take a little bit more time to see just how much he's actually influenced. Because, like, one thing that he's always used to his advantage is he's hopped on a lot of waves.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? He's hopped on a lot of waves. He's good at becoming a chameleon, you know what I'm saying, alongside other artists and other sounds. I don't know, the only time we'll tell is, like, we have to see if we see his influence in other people's music outside of the whole rap and sing thing, you know what I'm saying? Because that's something that everybody's kind of doing and had been doing before that, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Doing before
but
that.
We would have to see, like, if we started seeing artists come out, like, I hear a lot of Drake in that person, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's safe to say that right now, like, oh man, I hear a lot of Drake in that person.
I will give him this. I think it's dope that he is actually dropping rap songs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to hear Drake rap. I've never understood. He's a marginal singer and an incredible rapper. Why doesn't he rap more? So I'm happy to see that.
like Fonte once said when people were asking him, why are you only singing foreign exchange? Like, my nigga, once your part-time job makes you more money than your full-time job, guess what, nigga? You got a new full-time job. So it's like, if Buddy's singing and it's doing numbers and he ain't even trying, like, you really can't be mad that, like, he's gonna keep doing that.
That's real. That's very real, man. That's true. Cannot deny that, man. But are you gonna listen? The album comes out June 20th, June 28th, something like that.
No, for the record, like, listening to Drake is actually hazardous to my health.
What? Because you fall asleep listening?
I fall asleep at the wheel and end up in the other lane on Memorial Drive, or goddamn in the HOV on 85. I have to be at home. You know what I'm saying? I have to be stationary to listen to that man to keep from dying.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. And on that note, we're about to get out of here, man. I want to say thank you to everybody flying in, driving in from all over the country this weekend for the 24th annual Cali Picnic. We will be at Morris Brown from noon to sundown. Several special guests coming in. Shout out to my folks from Trap Kitchen that are coming in from L.A. Who else is coming in? It's like some food shit damn near. Like, we got a lot of dope restaurants and food people coming in from L.A. Trap Kitchen for sure. Taco Mill, who some of y'all saw last week on Man Cave on BET. And
that's one of my favorite events in Atlanta. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Cali Picnic is up there with Jazz Fest to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just as far as something like to kick it at and chill at, man.
If you've never been, make sure you come out. Hit up thecalipicnic.com for more information. It's definitely best day of the year is what we have branded it as, because so many people say that's what it is for them. So we appreciate y'all listening, man. Make sure you check us next week for another dope show.